So we're going to talk a little about, how Eddie got started. So, he was referred by another patient. He reached out to our clinic, answered some questions, pretty common questions. We use something called the Adam questionnaire, which if you look at the actual sheet, it actually goes over a lot of the same questions that you would answer at your primary doctor's office about like your overall mood, your libido, how you're feeling, how your body is, losing weight, and how you're feeling, as far as your overall health in general. He answered those questions pretty quickly. Then right immediately after, looking at his questionnaire, what I did was I ordered some lab work, a personalized lab panel over at LabCorp. He went in, got the labs drawn. Within 3 to 4 days, we had the lab results. We set up a consultation, and we basically went over his lab markers. Once everything was discussed, we talked about his, treatment plan. And I mean, it's super simple. He gets his meds, in a normal time without any delays. He gets everything within 4 to 6 days. And you start feeling better and optimizing your health as little as 4 to 6 weeks. You start feeling significantly better. It is a stepwise approach. We tell everyone. We start hormones. After about 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to notice, one, you're going to be sleeping a lot better. Your mood will be a lot better. You will find that when you look in the mirror, you're going to have a little bit more muscle mass, more so in like the upper chest area. And then after about a month and a half, the body fat, if you're doing everything appropriately, again, this is not a take testosterone, you'll lose weight, but if you're doing everything appropriately on your end, the body fat will start melting off. The strength will go up. Recovery, you're going to significantly find it easier to exercise. A lot of guys sometimes overtrain to an extent, and that's why a lot of people can get injured on it because they feel like they are never tired when they exercise. They work out and they feel like they can go just as hard the next day on the same muscle group, which isn't really recommended, but it really does help improve your overall health, motivates you, to be more physically active, motivates you to be a better father, better husband, better person in general. When you're on hormones and you start out with a clinic like us, it's going to make you just a better civilian. You're going to want to, socialize and be around people more and also just, contribute and give back to the world. So it really does help improve, people. But don't just take it from me. I mean, Eddie can talk about how he, felt before and how he feels now. And,
So, I mean, Pat, you can probably know better than me too, but before TRT, I never even got blood work done, to be honest. I, rarely ever even saw a doctor. And I know on the initial blood work, I think my cholesterol was high. There was like various red markers where things were off, right? Yeah. We just did my blood work and literally everything is spot on, which we could put up. The only thing that's slightly elevated is my liver counts, which can account to the high.
Yeah, so your AST and your ALT are slightly elevated. And that's because, the first thing that happens when you train extensively, like
just did.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of my fault. I should have told you to not work out that day.
I would have anyway, though.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, when you do any type of strength training, any type of exercise, especially if it's very intense, what ends up happening is that it can put a little bit of stress, on your liver enzymes on your blood. Doesn't mean that your liver's messed up. It just basically means that it's a reactive, mechanism of your body. It basically on the blood work, it'll show that it's a little bit high. It's minorly elevated. It'll be more elevated if you got a good night's sleep, but that night you drank alcohol and got your blood work done, so it's less elevated than that. So it's really nothing to worry about. But yeah, man, your insulin level was basically suppressed to the point where you're, perfectly metabolic healthy. Your kidneys are fine. Your white blood cell count, your CBC, all these things that people worry about. Oh, my hematocrit's very high, can get high and it can increase my risk of a blood clot. People don't understand. It's not a side effect. The testosterone, what it does is it actually raises your red blood cell count. It's what it's actually intended to do. It works and it makes your body create something called erythropoietin, which is why you will get a slight elevation in hemoglobin and hematocrit. Now, those ranges on your lab, it may be a little bit higher based on the range, but those ranges, most ranges on the, whether you go to LabCorp, Quest, or any lab, they're not optimized. They are generalized for the general population. And I don't know about you guys, that maybe watch this video, but I don't base my health off of the general population. Because whether it's testosterone, your liver enzyme, your creatinine, your insulin, it's all based off of whether you're 25 or 105. And that's where, the data is gone off of. So, if you're going to base, just the lab marker off, your labs off of the general population, you're going to be generalizing it and comparing it to the 1 in 3 Americans that are metabolically significantly unhealthy. So, there's a difference between looking at a lab and saying, oh, this is a little tiny bit high versus the actual picture. Because like if you exercise, your liver could be, liver enzymes could be a little bit higher that day. So you know, we'll recheck your levels again in a couple months, you know, as long as you're feeling good. Now, if you're not having, if you're at side effect or weren't feeling good, we check it sooner. But I tell people there's something to be done about, you know, checking your labs frequently to kind of help improve it, but you could also over-check it and basically change things around too much, and then you have the, you know, chasing a lab number, not about actually how you're feeling, which is a problem in medicine in general.
Yeah, I tell you, Pat, I feel freaking good. I keep saying that. And like I always say, TRT, nobody wants to talk about it. I am an open advocate for TRT, especially as a first responder, especially with the job we have to do. Fitness should go hand in hand with being a first responder, right? It could save your life. It could save somebody in the public's life. And if TRT enhances it and optimizes that, I'm all for it. And I will always preach that.
There's 3 things in life. Two of them are guaranteed. You know, if you're watching this video, you're lucky enough to have been born, and then we're all going to die. Now, what you do...
And pay taxes.
Yeah, and pay taxes. Yeah, exactly. So we're all born if you're lucky, and then we're all going to die. What we do with our life when we're alive to optimize our health and improve your overall well-being, that's up to you. And, you know, hormone optimization is just one of the many tools that help improve and get you to your next level of your overall self. So I think, you know, don't fear hormones. When you hear hormones, you know, don't look at it as something that is harmful. Instead, it's actually something that will help optimize and improve your overall health and quality of life.
I will tell you, there is a lot of people on TRT, whether they admit it or not. It is out there. A lot of people are on it. A lot of people are optimizing their health. And the people that are against it, I mean, you could be against it all you want, right? It is what it is. Everybody has it.
I'm against most antidepressants for people, but people still get them prescribed all the time. And if you're on it, you know, good people, if you think it's helping you improve your life. Now, I'm against a lot of the pharmaceutical agents that are handed out blindly off of a guideline where they don't have a lot of data to support it. And, you know, if the root cause of the problem is actually not being addressed, you know, so it makes the person feel good. It makes the provider and the health insurance company feel good, but is actually doing what's best for people. And that's the real difference. And that's what medicine and healthcare should be. You know, your wellness, your overall wellness should be the aim, not to improve, you know, the profitability of whether it's the health insurance companies, big pharma. You know, you really got to ask yourself, who is benefiting from the treatment that's being prescribed to? You know, my business makes a little bit of profit, but I'm on it personally, and the margins, you know, the profit margins that are given to me compared to other places that are promoted on medicine are significantly, you know, less. The whole goal is to help people. You know, that's before I'm a businessman, I'm a healthcare provider. Before I'm a healthcare provider, I'm a father and a husband, and was really trying to be there for my kids to be better. And hormone optimization is what makes me motivated and able to do all that. You know, modern medicine, other treatments don't really do the same.
I'm a big supporter of having that edge. 50 Cal Live supplements, I'll always support Pat, man. Pat supports the blue. So anything you guys need, man, hit him up.